Welcome everyone to the Vested Interest channel. This is Shane and happy 4th of July. Hopefully you have a great day today. America's 250th birthday. Hopefully you're spending some time with some family and friends and celebrating in this video. And thank you for spending some of your time with me today. And in this video, we are going to cover the dividends and options that we received in June. Put a pin in that one, wrap up the month. I know we're already into July. And again, happy 4th of July. But let's get into this video and wrap up June. All right, dividends did start coming in on the 1st of the month of June. Enbridge paid us $177.84, and you'll notice I do not have the amount of shares that the dividends bought because I am manually reinvesting the dividends now, so they're not automatically reinvested as they get paid out. That's why you're not seeing anything as far as share count. They may not even go into Enbridge. I might have taken those shares and bought something else. But Enbridge did pay us $177.84. Ticker ENB is out of the energy sector. Then we jump to Friday the 5th. Badger Meter, ticker BMI. I hold this in the industrial sector. I know it's in the information technology sector, but BMI Badger Meter paid us $59.73. Forward to June 9th. Ticker J&J. Johnson & Johnson paid us $173.57. Microsoft, ticker MSFT. J&J is out of the healthcare sector. Microsoft is an information technology stock. Microsoft paid us $92.82. Excuse me. Pfizer is out of the healthcare sector as well. Ticker PFE on the 12th paid us $280.83. Jumping to Monday the 15th, NextEra Energy, ticker NEE, it paid us $129.72. NextEra Energy is a utility company out of the utility sector. Then one of the three ETFs that we hold, the VXUS, this is Vanguard's international fund here. They paid us $32.64 on the 23rd. Another one of the ETFs on the 29th, ticker SCHD, paid us $289.82. VTI, the third of the three ETFs I hold, on the 30th of June there, just as we wrapped up the month, paid us $105.88. And last but certainly not least, this is one we've been adding to here recently. Domino's Pizza, ticker DPZ, out of the consumer discretionary sector, paid us $123.38. Total received in dividends for the month of June, $1,466.23. Now there is the $14.66 that we made in June, and that brings our total dividends received so far in 2026 up to $6,824.97. All right, now we had a pretty slow month in options up until the very last week, really the last couple of days. On the 29th, we were able to get a couple of different covered calls to go through. J&J, we had a covered call, sold the open covered call on Johnson & Johnson. -1 represents one contract. That's 100 shares, so you have to hold 100 shares to be able to do a covered call. If you want to do a cash secured put, you need to have the cash. So I own over 100 shares of J&J, so we did the one contract, $265 strike price. We received 50 cents per share, which after the fees they charge us for the options amounts to $49.46. Also on the 29th, we did one contract for Microsoft, a $390 strike price, and we received $1.10 per share, again minus the fees, $109.46, which amounted to $158.92. You'll see the results of these two options play in our portfolio update that we do on Sunday. One was called away, one was not. So you'll see again the options results in our portfolio update video on Sunday. All right, options for the year so far. There's that $158.92, which brings us to $1,076.66 in options for 2026. All right, June cash flow, dividends plus options, $1,625.15. Total dividends to date, $6,824.97. Total options to date, $1,076.66, which amounts to $7,901.63 in total cash flow from the portfolio to date. Now, we do have everything being reinvested back into the portfolio. I'm manually doing it. I'm not doing the drip anymore right now. I am allocating the dividends, so they are not being automatically reinvested, but they are being invested back into the portfolio, as well as the options. So The week I get options premium, if I do get any, that goes in the portfolio. Any dividends I receive for that week, unless they're received on Friday. If I receive dividends on Friday, those typically go into the next week's allocation. All right, June's year-over-year increase. There's that $1,466.23, and that represents a 20.41% increase from last year's payout. And that is what you like to see, a nice steady stair step up. You had the one down year there back in from 2022 to 2023. Again, every now and again we do see that, right? There's another down year there, another down year there. So what is that? 2, 3. There's 1, 4. 5 out of the last almost 6 years. We're into year 6 right now. We've seen 5 down turns from year to year, but most of them are nice, steady stair step up from year to year, and that's what you want to see. That dividend growth continue to grow year over year, week over week, month over month, quarter over quarter as I add new capital. As the dividends get paid out and those dividends get reinvested, we did have the drip set for a long time on the portfolio. I've just recently turned that off. So you can use that if you want. That makes it a lot easier. Right now I'm receiving a significant amount, as you saw, in dividends per month. So I want to direct that capital to some of the positions that are still undervalued rather than have them go to some positions that I feel like are overvalued. Johnson & Johnson, for example, would be one. So I am, again, manually reinvested those dividends. But again, if you're early in your dividend investing, I won't call it a career, but your journey, then I would recommend leaving the drip on and letting those dividends reinvest back into those positions. It helps grow those positions even if you're not adding new capital. And then, once you get a little further along, like I am, you're into year 6, maybe you turn that off and then you direct those dividends, or you start using them to pay some of your bills if you want. I could certainly use some of these instead of reinvesting all the dividends and investing the option income. I could certainly take that out and pay some bills with it, but we're still trying to grow the portfolio right now and get to, financial freedom where the portfolio generates enough to pay all of my bills, or at least the bills that I want it to pay. So again, nice year-over-year increase, 20.41%. Now we're not going to see that every single year, but I want to see continual growth in the overall portfolio. All right, it's a quick one today. Again, happy 4th of July. Thanks for spending part of your Sunday with me. As always, appreciate you stopping by. If you haven't done so already, don't forget to show me some love. Hit that thumbs up, ring the notification bell. Most importantly, subscribe to the channel. Join us on this journey to financial freedom. Join the vested interest community. I will have the portfolio update video coming out tomorrow. So tune back in for that one. And that's just one more reason to hit all of those buttons down below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you're notified whenever I put out any new content. Drop a comment. Hey, wish me a happy 4th of July. It is 4th of July. Put a fireworks down there, or some sort of comment. What you are doing for 4th of July. You having a barbecue? You going to a barbecue? Where are you at in the world? Are you watching some fireworks today? Would love to hear from you in the comment section down below. And let me know, did we receive any dividends in the month of June? Do you have any of the same companies that I have and were paid out by the same companies? And again, what are you doing for the 4th of July? Happy 4th of July. And this is Shane signing off, wishing peace and prosperity to you and yours. And remember, financial security comes to those who take a vested interest. Hey, again, thanks for spending part of your day with me. Happy 4th of July, and we will see you in the next one. I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing in this presentation should be considered financial advice. I'm only sharing my opinion and investing journey for educational and entertainment purposes. Investing involves risk. You can't lose money. You should never invest any amount you're not comfortable losing. Always do your own research. Invest based on your situation, circumstances, and select criteria, or seek the advice of counsel, a certified financial advisor.